Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. It's Michelangelo Badio with another installment of No Boundaries, the live multi stream on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. Now we have a really cool show planned tonight. Yes, we have a cool show because I'm the star. It's going to be me, I, Joe E. Who do you want to see? Shut up. No, it's my turn to shred. Anyway, we have a real special guest who's been on the show before. We've been friends for a long time. He was a former student as a kid, and this is Adam Turetsky. He also uh, does all the engineering and all the tech work on the live stream to make it happen. So, everything works perfectly. Before we get started, we're going to do another week of jamming. I think sometimes it's better to shut up and play. Joey agrees. So does Robert. Hey, JD, how are you? I want to just do some shout outs here. I want to say hello to Denny, to Tanya, to Alexis, to Brett, to Nick, to Roxana, Sasha, and let's see, we have John Peter, hello from the UK. I love the UK. I love performing there. Daryl, Nathan, Phil, the list goes on and on. Okay, now the guitar that I'm playing today, it's a new series that Sawtooth came out with. It's called the Natural series. And what we have here are 3 single coils, 5-position toggle switch, Wilkinson trem. So it's a high-end tremolo, but it's not locking. So it's more like a traditional Fender style trem. But Wilkinson makes great components, and also Wilkinson tuners. And the price will blow your mind. Nobody can make guitars better than Sawtooth at the price point they can do it. It's really fantastic. You get that nice overdrive. Also clean. Now, one of the things, people have said, well, dude, you can play super fast, bro, but like, what about a clean sound, man? No, I can't play fast on a clean sound. And so, but seriously, I grew up playing with clean guitar sounds because they had no overdrive channels. I mean, there's a Gemini 1 amplifier sitting in the corner of my studio. It's the one, not the one I used, but it's one I used when I was a kid. There's no overdrive circuit on there. No amps had that. They were all clean. It wasn't until literally the late 70s when Music Man started coming out with these, preamp circuits that you could even have overdrive on an amp. I mean, everybody used to have a distortion or, fuzz or something like that. So anyway, one of the things, and if you watch my instructional programs, especially my Starlix video, all the exercises, first of all, they're in real time. It was taped. There's no way you can cheat. And second of all, a lot of clean sounds on there. I grew up playing clean guitar sounds. So it's not like a big leap of faith for me to do it. Now let's get to Adam. Adam, we have known each other for a long time. I think he personifies what I try to teach. Did you bring some of the lesson stuff with you?
We have the Bible,
Yeah.
the music lessons book from 1982. That for very first lesson in there, I think you taught me. Let's see if we can open that up to page 1. I wanted to learn songs, which was the reason we stopped with the Michael Row Your Boat Ashore guitar teacher that was coming to my house. It just wasn't working out. When I asked him, do you know any Van Halen? And he's like, Van who? And
Yeah.
so that didn't quite work. And at that time, I was absolutely, like I'm sure people watching, guitar obsessed as a 13-year-old kid. So much so that we didn't have things like the internet, and you had magazines and you had television if you were lucky enough to have MTV. We didn't. So I was even so obsessed that I would read the phone book and open up to the music store ads and look at the gear logos.
Wow.
And just to, between watching videotapes of guitar players. Anyway, one of the places that had gear logos was a place called Gann Music and Sound in Northfield. That was on the way to Libertyville, and one day my mom had to go to Libertyville, and I'm like, I'll come with and help if we can go look at guitars on the way home. She was kind of supportive. She's like, okay, so I went and did whatever Mom had to do in Libertyville. I don't even remember. And on the way back, we stopped at Gann Music and Sound. I met a man there named Keith Marks, who was the salesman. And he showed me a guitar just like this, and I didn't know how to play anything. And he goes, do you know Van Halen? I'm like, no. So he showed it to me right there in the store. I think it was You Really Got Me and then Unchained. And Mom recognized that this is what I was playing on the radio and asked him, can you teach him to play like that? And Keith was like, well, I don't give lessons and don't tell the boss, but my friend Mike Badio at our competitor up the street, the Music Gallery, gives lessons. He may have a slot open. So Mom got on the phone and called them, and my slot was Mondays at 3:30.
It's cool.
And the very first thing Mike had me do, he's like, well, do you know any songs? I'm like, at the time, this is funny to look at this, I was really into the Nazareth Hair of the Dog album. And so that's,
Now you're messing with
so that's song number one that he taught me. And then the next thing that we went on to do was Miss Misery, which was on there. And he showed me the individual notes of the solo. But then you mix the pleasure with the lesson. The very next page is the blues scale. So we started showing you that.
Are there any open pages here? Okay. Just to show, whoops,
That's okay,
sorry.
it's just the cover.
The handwriting here. Now Tab has been around for centuries. We all know that. But back when I started teaching guitar, there were no songbooks that you really didn't see tablature, but I thought it was such a great way. And one of the things you can show, this is some of my notation from 40 years ago. My handwriting was pretty good back then. Not perfect, but nobody's perfect. But you can see pick up and down. I mean, there's Detroit Rock City, Let It Go. I mean, there's just so many songs. But here's my methodology. I showed Adam what he wanted to learn, which were songs, and what he needed to learn. And I think, your technique is really great now. And then, when we started doing these multi-streams, Doug Marks from Metal Method, by the way, we have a sale on my programs at Metal Method, metalmethod.com. Nobody has taught more people to play than Doug Marks, except for maybe Mel Bay, but Doug is the originator of the instructional online program, the instructional video. He's the man. And
started as cassettes. Too,
what's that?
Didn't you used to order cassettes from? You didn't even have video.
Yeah. There were cassettes first, and then when he got into video, I was with Starlix before Doug Marks, a Metal Method, and that's the program that I talked about all the clean sounds. That's available through Metal Method. I actually bought the rights to the program when it expired and when it was available. But
I bought that from him. He bundles all three of them, right?
Yeah, we bundle it together.
I bought that just 40 years later just to have it.
But the thing is about teaching, I always wanted to, you want to keep people interested. So I wanted to teach people what they needed to know and what they wanted to learn. And I think, and you can see it from back there. And today, what we did, I'll just say it. I asked Adam because he's been on the show before, to come up with some tracks.
Backing tracks, yes. And I said, sure, no problem. That's easy to do. Well, it wasn't all that easy. I spent a week writing these 3 songs that are completely original. So, well, if you can call 12 Bar Blues original. But
yeah, and I didn't, I've done so many of these over the years, I didn't even think twice. It's like, Adam, yeah, do it. And this is the first time you've ever done this.
Something like this,
So cool,
yes.
man. So I think we should just shut up and play some guitar.
So the first one we're going to do is just 12 Bar Blues. That's easy to warm up
Yeah.
to.
And, I see a lot of people writing about Ukraine. You guys know me. I'm not a politician. I don't talk about religion, but it's really sad about Ukraine. Marcy Flame, the singer that I, worked with, like 4 years ago already, I think, she's from Ukraine. Her parents are out there, and, it's sad. So, we hope for the best. And, no one wants to see violence in this world. But I always had a phrase that if musicians ran the world, we'd have world peace, because musicians seem to just get along. And we always have, not everybody likes everybody, but, for the most part, different genres can relate to each other. I mean, if Eminem can talk to Elton John, there's hope in this world. All right, so are we ready to rock?
We're ready.
So you're going to do the first part.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds great, man. Yeah, that's a cool track. Now, also, Go DPS, Sawtooth Guitars, and ChromaCast, the three main companies that are surrounded, with Sawtooth, we are doing a guitar giveaway. We are doing an ET hybrid, and so the information will be on this thread in the comments. Let's see. Somebody asked if I ever use a Les Paul. Well, what I do is I have, you can also refer to it as a single cutaway. I mean, yeah, it is a Les Paul. So the answer is yes. Sawtooth makes many models that are that single cutaway sound, and I have one signature model that's the Floyd FRX, and it's got that really awesome Floyd Rose on it, 24 frets. Hey, Nick, how are you? I see Nick's name there. I see Roxana. But yeah, it's really a great shape, and you can hear the sound is super thick. With single coils, it It's just that got more twang. Or like. So it's got a little different sound. It's not as thick as a Les Paul sound. But do you really want that? So, it's a lot different sound, but I think there are benefits to both. Most of my signature guitars have humbucker pickups, but I think this Natural series, I previewed one a few weeks ago with the humbuckers. I mean, these just sound amazing. Okay, we have another tune coming up here.
Yes, an original composition.
Yes, this is an original, and got to give Adam credit. I didn't know that he didn't write all. That I thought.
Give yourself challenges in life and then try to achieve them.
That's right. The lesson for this week is to write 3 great songs.
I was going to throw in the towel and be like, he's got a DVD from like 15 years ago that has all jam tracks on it. But I'm like, nah, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I think it's great. Okay, let's rock. You're going to play the first pass.
And this one has like a double drum lead in. So I couldn't find stick clicks.
Ready. That was great. Yeah, that was really fun. Cool jam.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Before we play again, a couple things. I have a big Europe tour coming up. I'm hoping I can do it. We're not, I have to admit, it's a little scary situation now with Russia and Ukraine. But the shows, I am not going. I already have flights scheduled. The shows are booked. There's over 25 shows, a lot of different countries. So if anybody knows me, we do not cancel unless we have to. COVID made it so I had to cancel. Not because I wanted to, I had to. We are hoping for the best here. I'm not leaving for Europe for another month or so. So the first show, I think it's somewhere in Italy on the 23rd of March. So, we have time. So let's just see what happens. But I posted the tour schedule here so you can see. We are doing a giveaway, the ET Hybrid. The information is on the comments section here. And also, too, Metal Method has a big sale on my programs. And I think Adam is living proof that, I always wanted, when I taught, you have to keep people interested. So that's the musical side. And the technical side, it's everything I've always talked about, where you take the technique, you take the music, eventually musical people will find a way to merge the two together. But I like to study them separately. And then, of course, if there's a really cool passage in a song that you want to learn that's difficult, that can involve both technique and the music. I just want to show you a little bit of the sounds of this bad boy. I mean, this back pickup, this bridge pickup. Someone wrote John McLaughlin.
They also, Al Di Meola, I know you're a huge fan. You turned me on to him when I was 15, and I've got, Elegant Gypsy?
Yeah,
Is that-
Al Di Meola. Wait. I haven't played that for a while. I made that one up, but this guitar just sounds really killer. Now,
It does.
is it going to compete volume-wise with pickups like that? No. A Les Paul has that really big, beefy tone. That's not what this guitar's about. Or so it's more Hendrixy sounding. Wait. So it's got that
That's
really,
definitely an S-style guitar.
yeah.
I like I never know, the inlays are kind of cool.
Yeah, the inlays are part of, that's a good observation. These inlays are actually the inlays that are in Sawtooth Acoustics. And it's a great maple neck, really pretty. But I love these guitars. And the thing that I love about Sawtooth is they are really record quality. I mean, I do a lot of recordings for people, and I'm always finding one of the sawtooths that I need for that particular sound. Okay, so we have one more track to play. I'm into it. Yeah, when people say, well, Michael, why don't you play clean, man? I've done it my whole life. So it's not a big deal for me. I can play clean all day. And like Captain America, I can do this all day. So let's do the third track. Adam wrote 3, Metal 2 + 2, -1.
This one's kind of more like a pop song. I think I wrote. This was in my phone for like 2 years, and I fleshed it out. So,
Cool.
how does it
So you're
start?
going to start this.
Yeah, and I got that selected. Yeah.
Killer, man. That was fun. Yeah, they're just so much fun to play to. And see, one of the things that Adam has done is, he plays live a lot. And you can't substitute, it's great for sitting in front of a computer and jamming away, but there's nothing like playing on stage to people. And because you really find out, there's a reason why AC/DC goes over so well. Or, even, you hear like
Actually, very difficult to do this sitting down.
yeah. Or, when you hear these, and you hear these songs, and they just make people want to move. That's the one thing that you cannot substitute. And so, because there are great guitar players that play in front of computers, but if that's all they know when they get into a live format, it's very rare that they can translate that to an audience. And so you want to do both. Again, my teaching methodology, technique, songs. Well, one of the other things, play live. Get off your butt and book a show, dude, or do that. And so now let's just recap what you've seen here tonight. This Natural series, I'm just telling you, for the price, these are some of the best guitars on the market. The wood is superior. Wilkinson trems, Wilkinson tuners. You've heard, I really beat the heck out of these. And they just sound great, these single coils. And they're kind of cream colored. They're kind of aged a little bit. They're not white. And so I think that cream color adds a nice vintage effect to it, although they're not trying to make it look distressed or like beat up. This is just brand new, but that creamier look to it that gives it a more vintage look. Now, so we are doing an ET hybrid giveaway. The information is on the comments section. Also, too, I don't know if you guys know this, I'm getting close to 3 million unique views and hits. 3 million people a month on Facebook, and I want to thank each and every one of you. My Facebook page has exploded. Adam has helped greatly with all the technology that goes into this, and then we're getting really good response on YouTube as well. I have my song "Hurt." That's not my song, it's Trent Reznor's, but my version of it, it's out everywhere. Spotify, Pandora, Apple, you name it, it's all, and on my internet, my YouTube page. So go to my YouTube page. We've got all these different videos of the last time Adam and I jammed. That's on there. Everything is on there.
Huge numbers for me.
Huge numbers.
I'm bringing huge numbers to this channel.
Well, all I know is this. My fans know I like to help. And, I didn't even know you never had written songs like that before. So here I nonchalantly say, yeah, Adam, just do a couple tunes for us for next week. And he came up with it.
I get to add music director to my resume now.
Yeah, but it's the quest. You always want to find new things, do new things, boldly go.
And he does help. He didn't let me quit. I almost said, sure you don't want to use the DV? He's like, no, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and I use the phrase too because you said you were overthinking it a little bit.
Yes.
And so I said, and what I talked about last week, paralysis through analysis. If you analyze things so much and you get into this, we call it the microzone, where it's like the details are overwhelming, bro. It's like, wait a second. That's like 2 cents off of being perfect, bro. Now, maybe it is perfect, but I don't know, man. But like, I'm in the zone, dude, and like, it can't be enough. So you sit there for 8 hours going, now! 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 No, kinda now. Well, it's getting closer. And so you do 1,000 of these that no one can tell. They all sound the same. But to you, it's like each one of them's different, and it's so different.
I was definitely over analyzing the 2 chord progressions, which jumped into 2. I'm like, am I still in the same key? I don't know.
Yes, you are in the microzone. You are Ant-Man in the quantum realm.
And of course I was. Just trust your ears.
Yeah, and then and the paralysis by analysis is sometimes, you just have to take a step back and say, look it sounds good, or take a day off and listen to it the next day. But Adam, those tracks were killer. We had fun jamming to them. The bandwidth was good. That's another thing I listen for. Is the low end and high end, are things relative? Are they in the zone, quote unquote? And it was.
Thank you, because I mixed all that.
Yeah, so it's but I mean, it's good to just keep progressing. My phrase is always a student. Now Joey doesn't. I'm the star. I don't need to be no student. But I feel you always have to be a student, because if you stop learning, then you're the one guy or girl that goes, well, back in the day, it was so much better. Do you like just music was so much better? Everything was so much better. Yeah, we did have a great time back in the day. But do you really want to not use a GPS? I mean, I can't even, I hated maps. Like, a map! What is this? Maps! My mom could read a map. I couldn't. And then when you got those directions, remember in the early internet days, they're like, that's wrong, dude. It means they were wrong.
A very different world. I used to drive a truck, was one of my first jobs out of college, and the dispatcher would give me word by word instructions on where to go. There was nothing to look at. You had to left turn here, you had to watch the signs. Very different world.
Yeah, I mean, now I plug in my phone to my, whatever vehicle I've got. I lease vehicles, and the screen comes out. If my GPS knows where it is, I know where it is. And, so the technology and everything is so much different. It's let's see, I'm reading something. Oh my God, John Paul. Ooh. Okay. Anyway, you always get a couple Weisenheimers here. And you know what? I like that because those are the people you never have to worry about. You never have to worry about those.
Oh.
You have to worry about me. I'm the guy that never criticizes anyone. Just sits back and goes, yes, yes, yes. So anyway.
Has technology replaced that? Somebody said, how many phone numbers do you remember today? Has that replaced it in music?
Okay, that's a good question. Did you know I was with Dean Guitars a long time? And people that know the owner died. And I had a relationship with Sawtooth many years ago, and it was just natural that we went together. But all the years that I called Dean Guitars, I never knew their number.
Wow.
I only knew an 813 area code. And it's like even with Sawtooth or like Joe, one of the owners, or you, I only know area codes. I see 661, so I know it's LA. I see 213, I see 212, that's New York. I don't know.
My iPhone has ruined me. It just says Michael Badio when you call.
That's what I mean,
I have
yeah.
no idea what your phone number is.
Yeah, we are just in this crazy era. But it's a great time to be in music. There's so many great things going on, just like we can do this here today and stream it to the world. Lastly, GoDPS Music, which is the retail side of Sawtooth, we have an app. We were one of the first music companies to come out with an app. And one of the things that, I want to impart to you something about the company that I'm with, Sawtooth, that no other company besides us has ever been able to achieve. We are popular in electric guitars. We are popular in acoustic guitars. We are popular with basses. We are popular and acoustic basses. Rudy Sarzo has this amazing electric acoustic bass. We are popular with drum sets. And we are popular with Latin percussion, with cajones and all this. No other company is as versatile as we are. When you think of other guitar companies, you think of, okay, they're great with electros, and we have amplifiers. And so these products are distributed all over. And so it's a really different company, and that's why I'm so happy to be with them. And also, they don't care that Adam's not playing a Sawtooth. I mean, you play what you want. But
I'm a Gibson guy.
yeah, show them that other guitar you've got. It looks like a Firebird back there.
That's exactly what this is.
That's a bad guitar. I love these guitars.
Johnny Winter's birthday.
Yeah, Adam's got a really cool collection. I have them in numbers. He's got
So
some
the reason
really
why I
high
got
quality.
this one and liked it, this is a 2014 Firebird, and I'm a sucker for little emblems, so it says 120th anniversary on the 12th
cool.
fret. And I'm a Johnny Winter fan, and this is
love Johnny
obviously
Winter.
inspired by Johnny Winter.
So are these humbuckers on there? Or?
They are not humbuckers, and you'll hear, I don't know if we need to say, you'll hear a lot of people say that these are mini humbuckers. These are Firebird pickups. It's a very different construction from mini humbuckers or a humbucker. There's a solid rail that goes through it, specific just to this guitar.
Cool. I was a big Johnny Winter fan. When it said 120th anniversary, I remember when I was a kid, I had a 20th anniversary or something. I'm old, bro. Yes, you are. Shut up. And so, but yeah, that's a cool
And then
guitar. I love
my little
Firebirds.
nod to, you would know, that's Hendrix, right?
Oh,
This
cool.
is that.
Hendrix. Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. We're here to promote guitar. I love guitar. Sawtooth makes fantastic instruments. So
They also make drums.
yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. We make everything, and we're great at it.
I was looking at the drums. I don't have a drum set at home. I was thinking,
yeah, well-
maybe I should have one of those. And
Vinny Appice is the main Sawtooth Drummond Dorsey. I mean, he's had so many hit songs, Black Sabbath, Ozzy. I mean, the list goes on and on. Dio, all these amazing tunes. John Lennon, he played with. And, when people like that go to a company, something's going on. And, because like me, there was a lot of guitar companies I could have gone to after Dean. I love the owner of Dean. He's gone. Like my mother's gone, my sister's gone. I can't help that. But they would be mad at me if life didn't move on. You have to move on. You have to rock. Metal Method has a sale on my programs, metalmethod.com. We have the Speed Kills bundle and the Beyond Speed Kills. You know why? Speed Kills, we're going to kill you. The Beyond Speed Kills, we're going to kill you again. We just like to kill stuff. And so, on guitar. And so, take no prisoners when it comes to riffing out. Anyway, Adam, I want to thank you. We've been friends for a long time. And, like I said, when, Doug Marks approached me about this multi-stream, and he said, you need to, he said he would put out an ad with people in my area. And, I had a few responses. And I saw Adam's name. I'm like, because I'm worried, I don't want people in my house that I don't know. And here's Adam, one of my former students. We've known everybody for, we've known each other for so long. So it's like a perfect fit. But I want to thank Adam for coming on playing. And
thank you for having me on the live stream.
Yeah, bringing, awesome. Some really killer guitars. And, you can see, you can hear the difference here. We've got the single coil guitar that sounds great as a single coil, and it's a really great contrast. I love that somebody wrote about Johnny Winter here. I love Johnny Winter. I was a big, huge fan of Johnny Winter. But anyway, I want to say this. For Sawtooth guitars, for Sawtooth amps, for Chromacast, go DPS. Thanks, Adam Turetsky. I'm Michelangelo Badio. Joey! That's Robert. He won't talk. He's just angry. See ya.
All right, so this is going to be the interesting part. Since I'm the tech engineer, I am on camera. I have to get up and go hit stop streaming across the room. So
I'll play till.